You are tuned in to On Air with Chris Shanafelt. Welcome back on Air with Chris Shanafelt as we continue our Player Spotlight series with the 2020 NFL Draft Class. And I am now joined by the safety out of Middle Tennessee State University, Jovante Moffatt. And Jovante, I really appreciate you taking the time. How's everything going, man?
Man, it's going good. Just trying to stay positive about everything and control what I control at this point.
Right, that's all you can do. Unfortunately, the pandemic caused by the coronavirus outbreak caused your pro day to get canceled. I know you're currently training in Fort Lauderdale at XPE Sports, one of the top training facilities in the country. You recently posted a video the other day of you running a blazing fast 40-yard dash, clocked at 4.37, certainly an eye-opener right there. You've also been running a three-cone in the 6.6 to 6.7 range consistently while posting a 39-inch vertical. Overall, how much better of an athlete do you think you've gotten since focusing on all these drills for the past 2, 3, 4 months?
Yeah, I wouldn't say I got better as an athlete. It's mainly just the way you do things and go about things as far as technique wise, how you're starting, power and different muscles and all that stuff. So I've always been an athlete, always been able to move, jump, whatever it is. It's just down there they just help you tune things up and help you bring out the best.
Yeah, they help you reach your potential, no doubt about it. Knowing that your pro day, arguably the biggest interview of your life up to this point, Jovante, was canceled, I'm sure that's still a very tough pill to swallow. Will you be doing a mock pro day of some sort at XPE by chance? I know there's a few facilities out there that are working with some of their clients. Do you have anything like that planned?
Yeah, see, I'm still on the verge of it. Like you said, I've been training for this for a while. I was gonna put up some crazy numbers. I was ready to do it from a testing standpoint, but we're still just trying to see how everything is panning out. If we want to do that or not. If not, we're just gonna roll with it. I got film. I got a lot of tape out there to watch. I'm pretty sure the scouts can see how I play and how I'm coming from that.
And at the end of the day, that should be all that matters is what you produce on film. Obviously, these numbers would certainly help and would verify the type of player that you are. But, like you said, you have a lot of film out there. You have a lot of, even highlights that are very easy to access on YouTube and other websites out there. Speaking of big job interviews, Jovante, you had the opportunity to participate in the NFLPA Bowl back in January. What was that experience like to participate in one of the bigger college football all-star games and to match up with some of the best in the country?
Yeah, no, that was an experience of a lifetime. I was happy to play with a lot of different guys from other schools, a lot of guys I've been training with, and just see how we all play, amongst each other, and see the different talent and different safeties coming from different conferences. Some conferences run the ball more, some conferences pass the ball more. So just seeing how everybody gel together and from that type of experience, and it was good. A lot of athletes in one area, so you can never go wrong with that.
Yeah, and I know they do a great job at bringing former NFL players, even current NFL players, out to help coach both respective teams. Who were some of your coaches? Were you able to take any pointers from them at all during that week?
Oh, yeah, no doubt. Most definitely start with Rod Wilson. He's one of the Hall of Fame safeties in the game, Pro Bowl, all of that stuff. So just learn from him. He has the most picks by a DB ever. He's always led that. I think it was like 53. So just picking their minds, knowing how them guys work and finding their game. Marvin Lewis was the head coach for my team. So it was just good to see how everybody worked and gel together. See how people from a higher standpoint, go throughout their day mentally and go throughout their things as far as football.
Were you able to meet with any teams throughout your week in Pasadena or even going back to your MTSU days, Jovante? I know you guys have had teams come by for practices. Who are some of the teams that you believe might be showing interest in you, and what has some of the feedback been like? I mean, how do you think the NFL views you as a prospect, as we are officially less than 1 month away from the 2020 NFL Draft?
I mean, that's a good question. When you ask me what teams, I feel like I've spoken to pretty much every team. Literally every team. So I feel like a lot of teams they know what they're going to get from me. They know what to expect. Like you said, we're a month away. I'm ready to see what comes with it, and just being patient for the opportunity.
Again, we're chatting with the standout safety out of Middle Tennessee State University, 2020 NFL draft prospect, Jovante Moffatt. And Jovante, looking at your Blue Raiders career, you've played in the most games by a single player in program history, seeing action in 55 games. You're the 5th all-time leader in tackles with 313. Just going through your story and through your timeline there at MTSU, you became a starter for the team as a sophomore in 2016, in which you won the team's Grinder Award to go with the most improved safety as well. You would follow that up by winning the same 2 awards the following year in 2017. You dealt with a torn labrum and a shoulder injury at the end of 2017, rehabbed all offseason long, tried to give it a go in 2018, playing in 4 games before deciding to shut it down so you would be eligible for a redshirt year. And then this past season, you were able to start in all 12 games. You led the team with 98 tackles, a career-high 3 interceptions. Overall, how would you describe the experience you had the past 5 years at Middle Tennessee State University, Jovante? I mean, there certainly was a lot of great moments, a lot of great plays made, but you also dealt with some adversity there as well.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, dealing with the injury was probably the most adversity I felt or dealt with during my time at Middle. But like you said, I had a lot of memories, good and bad. I enjoyed my time there. I'm thankful to have Coach Scott Schaefer come in as the defensive coordinator. With him, I got to be exposed to so many different positions, opportunities, learning from a D line to linebacker to safety standpoint of the game. So I give a lot of credit to him of who I am today as a football player, and I'm just thankful for the opportunity and experience I had.
As I said, in 2018, it would have been your true senior season. You played in 4 games. How did the decision come about to sit you down for the remainder of this season so you could redshirt and then come back the following season 100% healthy? And I'm sure deep down you probably thought it was the right thing to do, but just how tough of a decision was that to come to grasp with? How did you find yourself dealing with it? Were you still able to be around the team often? I mean, what was the 2018 season like for you, more so from a mental standpoint?
Yeah, so going into that year, they had just released that rule of you can play any 4 games and still, be accountable for another year. So Coach Stockett came to me. He had went about the rule. We went over it together, and he said, this would be a good option for me if I wanted to take it. And I ended up taking it. With that being said, I let him choose the 4 games that he wanted me to play in, and they were usually like the bigger conference games that we played that year. And I played my 4 games, and he put me on like the little coaching staff. So I went to every game, had a headset. I gave signals to the back end of the defense. So I was still a part of the part of the game, and somehow they didn't just leave me out there. They took me everywhere, and I kind of viewed everything from a coaching standpoint. I learned a lot, used it to expand my knowledge, and that's kind of what I did with the game as far as the 2018 season.
The term 12th man, we've come familiar with it, calling it, by some fan bases, the Seattle Seahawks, Kansas City Chiefs. Middle Tennessee State University, it sounds like, literally had a 12th man on their defense with you in 2018.
Right. Yeah, that was a crazy, just an unfortunate situation. Mm-hmm. Miscommunication by one of our DBs, and as you see, the cost of that, we would have got the ball back. Obviously, having Brent Stockstill, quarterback, have a chance to get the ball back, and he can do anything with the ball. He eventually scored. He might have scored and would have won us the game.
Jovante, you've played with some very talented teammates. Travaris Ward, former guest of the show, now Super Bowl champion with the Kansas City Chiefs, and then wide receiver Ricky James, now on the 49ers. You actually shared with us that Ricky was your one-on-one partner in practice the last time you were on the show, Jovante. What's it been like seeing their success in the NFL, being able to see the 2 of them square off in the Super Bowl a couple months ago, and have they given you any advice as you now look to follow their footsteps into the National Football League?
Yeah, no doubt. I'm very close with Ward and even KB. Just communicating with those guys. They obviously play in the back end just like I do. So just picking their brains, talking to them, touching up on stuff. I'm always, they're always willing to help me and communicate back to me, as well as like Darius Harris. those guys. He play linebacker for the Chiefs as well. So I mean, there's a lot of people within that I play with who have helped me and who will continue to help me along the way, and I'm thankful for that as well.
And you mentioned KB, that would be Kevin Byard, the standout safety for the Tennessee Titans, arguably the best safety in the NFL currently. Middle Tennessee State University, Jovante, you guys play in the Conference USA. We mentioned some of the top teammates that you've had over the years. What about opponents? The conference overall seems to produce better talent year after year. You're obviously a part of that this year. Who do you think is the best player you've lined up against over the past 4 or 5 years?
We're going Conference USA. I have to go with 49ers receiver Trent. Trent played for La Tech. He was a slot guy, very shifty, and he's one of the receivers I always, when I get that question, always come to mind. Trent would be one of the guys.
Yeah, and again, he's had some success early on with the San Francisco 49ers in his short time in the NFL thus far. How about most memorable play that you've made over the years there at MTSU, Jovante? Looking 10, 15 years down the road, what will be the first play that pops into your mind when thinking about your collegiate career?
Now, I'll go against, probably go to a Marshall game first off, whether it's 2018 or 19. And it'd definitely be one of the picks from this previous season. The one on the sideline where I read the quarterback and laid out for the ball near the sideline. So that's probably one of my most memorable plays. And, I'll go with that one for this year.
Again, we're chatting with Jovante Moffatt, the 2020 NFL Draft prospect, defensive back, safety out of Middle Tennessee State University. A few more questions for you, Jovante, then we'll let you go. For those not familiar with your game, how would you describe it? What is the biggest strength that you bring to the safety position?
Physical, running the box. I can play coverage zone. My knowledge is one of the biggest things that I bring to the game, just knowing the defense is in and out, knowing I'm supposed to be, knowing my opponent, and that's what I bring to my game on my side.
Yeah, and Jovante, your game reminds me a lot of Adrian Amos, the former Chicago Bear, now Green Bay Packer safety. We're based out of Chicago, so I have to ask, I know you would obviously like to play for any of the 32 NFL teams that would give you a shot, but picture yourself in the navy blue and orange for a second, playing in the Windy City. What would it be like to play opposite side of an all-pro such as Eddie Jackson?
I mean, it's a lot of defense going on out there, so that would be a good opportunity, with all those guys, the job they did last year on the defensive side of the ball. I wouldn't love nothing more just to help out.
Who are some players that you like to study and take bits and pieces of their game and add it onto your own?
So like you said, Kevin Byard. I'm a big fan of Malcolm Jenkins. Those are really the main two I like in on. Tre'Davious White, I like his game out there corner for the Bills.
And final question, then I'll let you go, Jovante. Let's say we had all 32 NFL general managers. They're listening to this very interview. Why should they want the standout safety, Jovante Moffatt, out of Middle Tennessee State University, a part of their team?
Yeah, they're going to get a real competitive player, coachable, somebody who's trying to learn the game from ins and out. Like I said, team player, and I'm willing to do everything that I can to help the team as far as special teams, defense. I can do it all, so.
Hey, sounds good. Jovante, congrats on all the success. Obviously seeing you being able to bounce back from that shoulder injury and come back bigger and stronger in 2019 and have a career year was really great to see. And then for you to go on and have the opportunity at the NFLPA Bowl. And, we're seeing those videos float out there on Twitter of, you showcasing that great athleticism in these pro day drills. Congrats again on all the success, and we're really looking forward to seeing where you land here in about a month, as we are a month away from the 2020 NFL Draft.
I appreciate that, man. I hope you have thank you for your time. I hope you have a good night.